it off. So it's another boundary. Last delivery of the last over, Ishmael bowled short and wide and was punished. And the start of this over, she gets placed to the boundary again. Edge, and that one's going to be another boundary. They've got a wideish second slip, but had no real opportunity of getting her hand to that one. So back-to-back boundaries.
Yeah, Suhaili's latching onto these loose deliveries. Wide outside of stump. It's a free shot, really.
Good change up, and that's a good bit of running as well. Pakistan captain Zavira Khan was quick on to identifying as a potential for a single and called Suhail through.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with the awareness of the quick singles in the inner ring from the Pakistani batters. Nice and awake there.
Yeah, so important. Able to pick up those quick singles. Collins, very experienced for Pakistan. She also gets herself into some really nice positions on the front foot in particular. You can see she's in full control. She's not the tallest of customers. Still gets a really good stride in. And I think it's going to be important that she plays a big innings. We saw performance of Wolfert at the top of the order for South Africa. After they'd lost 2 wickets, she was fundamental in making sure that they just solidified things.
Sipnam Ismail probably looking for a bit of swing on this occasion. Just slipping it down the leg side for wide.
Ismail's lost her way a little bit. You think of the last delivery of her 4th over, and then this over hasn't been showered in brilliance. She's offered up quite a few short-pitched wide deliveries. And she's having a chat with the non-striker. I don't know if she's suggesting that maybe she mustn't back up as far as she should, but it looks like Zavira Collins just saying to her, listen, you go back and bowl, and you worry less about what I'm doing.
Get back to the top of the run-up and, you know, have a go. That's just going to make Shubi a bit more feisty.
So 11 runs from that over, 36 for 2. Comparatively wise, it's basically even. South Africa just 1 run ahead of where Pakistan are at this stage. Nadine de Klerk to continue from the Old Fort Road end. It'll be interesting to see the strategy of South Africa. I mean, Pakistan were brilliant at once the first power play was concluded. They got those spinners into the mix and then just really strangled things. It'll be interesting to see if South Africa go to that option. Nicely worked down to finally. Okay, just talk us through the spinning options that South Africa can go to.
I think we've got now the best spinning option at the moment would be go to Leko Mlaba, call a lefty, obviously left arm spinner, homegrown goal from KZN Coastal, and she did very well at the World Cup, so it'd be great to see her coming on it in the next over.
judged as a wide. Sunelus doesn't bowl that much anymore, does she?
Yeah, not really, but I mean, when called upon, she can do a great job for you. And as they were warming up earlier, and she was bowling a couple of rippers there, so I'd like to see Sunay Loose also put herself onto bowl here on this track.
Yeah, off screen, we just saw her bowl a delivery to mid-off, so maybe she's trying to get loose. I think it would be a good option to turn to the spinners sooner rather than later, just to have a look and see what possible damage they can do. The only worry would probably be that Pakistan have grown up playing against spin over the years, so they might be quite adept to dealing with the challenges. So that's that one down the leg side. She throws her head back in frustration. It hasn't been the most accurate of overs so far. South Africa just letting things slip at the back end of this power play.
Yeah, they had a great start to the power play. I think there's a couple of loose deliveries, equally well dealt with by the Pakistan batters. Make sure they put the loose deliveries away. But yeah, Polly, it is going to be interesting to see when the spinners do come on. The tactics we're going to use, or South Africa is going to use. We saw how difficult it was when South Africa were batting, the middle period especially.
Considered a second, but it's good fielding once again. It just restricts it to the single. So 4 runs from the 10th over. End of the first power play of the 10 overs, 40 for 2. Let's have a look at some of those highlights from the power play. That was the initial wicket from Miranda with a change of angle for Ishmael. She got the breakthrough. And a few good shots played in the power play, particularly by Naida. A good shot square of the wicket, and then this was the massive blow. She got herself in misfield, but Ishmael was so quickly to the ball. Quick release over the stumps, and the second Pakistan wicket was on its way. And then Ishmael lost her line just a touch to offer up 2 boundaries at the back end of the 9th over, so pretty much even. Stevens, South Africa were at 45 for 2 after 10, and as we expected, straight away turning to the spin option. Lava is into the attack, and she's making a debut here today for the Proteas. Kaluka Malaba, 20 years of age. She's going to be bowling from the Umgani end. Gives it some air, and that's nicely played, but I think that was the way that the Pakistan spinners were very effective, was to give the ball some air, get it to hold up in the surface and make driving down the ground difficult. It should be nervous on debut. Do you remember your debut, Vern?
Absolutely, Paul. I think we all remember our debuts.
I think you remember yours for a good reason now. Well, no, I was talking about maybe your one-day international debut. That was before you had that fantastic game in the test match against Australia. Where was your one-day international debut? Was it?
Who said I didn't have a fantastic one-day debut either?
Well, I don't think it was as good as that one. It might have been fantastic. Well, that could be an edge, and it is. So it's just taken her 3 deliveries. Mlaba has picked up her first international wicket, offered up some flight, the ball purchased in the surface. Good catch by Chetty, and that's brilliant from South Africa.
Yeah, this is very well bowled, tossed up in the good area, a little bit of turn there, caught out to it, and a great catch by Chetty behind the stumps. It's a great feeling to be getting your first wicket, especially on your debut. Khan making away for 5. Pakistan 42 for 3.
Yeah, what a fantastic time from Laba. She'll be thoroughly excited. She just wants to show everyone that she can perform at this level. Marizanne Kapp was the one who presented her with her debut one-day international cap. It's a moment she'll remember. She looks slightly embarrassed, but I'm sure underneath she would have been thoroughly excited about the opportunity to get out and play for her country. And it's just taken her the 3 deliveries, and she's on the board as far as wicket takers in the international game. Suna Luce is going to be ecstatic about the way she started, just giving her some other pointers, maybe what they can or can't do. Nida Dar is the next batter to the crease for Pakistan. 75 matches, best of 87. 34 years of age. So a bit of a promotion up the order for her, with the regular members and captain of the side not being available. But just a faint edge through, nicely taken by Chetty, who was also concentrating on getting the ball back towards the stumps to maybe inflict a run out. But just a faint edge involved. And the ideal start from Laba.
I like this move from Captain Suna Luce, just closing up that gap in the offside, in the cover region, with the new batter coming in.
Yeah, asking him to make the play. Go over the top if you're prepared. Oh, another example of some prodigious turn. This is a brilliant start from Laba.
I think he's going to love the surface. Bit of turn and off here. Yes, turn square.
Kululeka and Laba has started like a house on fire. So much so that her captains decided, listen, forget the cover protection. We want someone in there at first slip. You found the edge already, you've beaten the bat. Let's give you the opportunity to try and pick up another wicket. So a brilliant start to international career. 2 runs off it and the wicket. Pakistan 42 for 3. From that image you can see a lack of experience in this Pakistan side that's come to the shores of South Africa. We mentioned 2 of their star players missing, but next batsman just averaging 17, 7 and 1 means that the 2 players at the crease are vitally important in this run chase. It was a bit of a blow for Pakistan that their captain couldn't come to our shores.
Yes, I think this Pakistan side is really missing out. He's really missing her at the moment. She offers a lot with the bat and the guidance as well, and that maturity that comes along with that. This partnership here between the 2 batters out there now is vital. And I think if we get another breakthrough here with South Africa, Pakistan's going to be in a bit of trouble.
And talking to the coach of Pakistan, David MP, Hussain Maroof, is so important both on and off the field. She really commands a lot of respect, and all the players tend to buy into what she says, and she leads from the front. So it's a major blow for her not to be here, as it is for South Africa with Nana Faniko being unavailable. But de Klerk has gone for a change of strategy. She's got the wicketkeeper Chetty up to the stumps, and I think that's vitally important as well. Just the new batter at the crease will feel the presence and the pressure of me not being able to drag a foot out, and just makes them feel a little bit conscious about the pressure and what's going on around them.
I mean, there with the previous delivery going nice and full, de Klerk, and with this one, I think maybe trying a bit of a slower ball there. Yep, rolling the fingers. Very short, and I didn't really come back up.
It's nicely played, but the South African inner ring has been very good at restricting everything that's gone their way. It's so important. There's not a lot of pace in the surface, so it's difficult for the batter to get it through the inner ring. And it's been backed up by some quality fielding, cutting absolutely everything off. So that's a maiden over for de Klerk. Good third over from her, 42 for 3. Teams love to keep the comparison of the worms and just tend to charter where they are with regards to the opposition and what they managed to accomplish. And I think for Pakistan they'll be looking at the 35th over, because that was where South Africa started to cut loose. That was where they took the third power play and really applied the pressure. And Guleka Malaba continues. Another example of the ball turning nicely.
I think, Sean, the difference with the comparison, you're talking about the 35th over with the South Africans. South Africans, I think, have a much longer batting lineup that they can kind of depend on.
Yeah, valid point. We saw that graphic just now about what's still to come for Pakistan, and not too much experience and not too much in with regards to decent averages as well. So they really can squeeze things here, South Africa. Ask the Pakistan batsmen to try and do something out of the ordinary. I love it because of the pace she bowls. That the only worry you would have is you might see the captain Sunay Lewis just offering her a little bit of everyone running around her, congratulating her. Just the 2 overs. It's always good to see debutant in the team and got the backing of all the established players. Play continues. Pakistan really do need something to go their way. They need to pierce the infield or somehow find something to rotate strike. There's been back-to-back maidens. And we saw this in the South African innings where Pakistan really squeezed things nicely at this period.
I think we saw it in the South African innings how tough it do become in the middle period. I think also a good thing about the South African captain is that he's keeping the fielders up, which makes it even tougher. You really have to pierce the infield in order to score runs. Otherwise, there's no easy singles on offer here.
That was a good change of pace. That one was almost like it went through a little bit quicker. So de Klerk is really settling into her spell now. She was a bit loose in the first over, but maiden last over she bowled, and I think she's actually quite enjoying the fact of having Chetty up to the stumps.
Definitely nothing. Having Chetty up to the stumps actually just reminding her to finish her action.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's Wolfhard in the squarish cover position. And that was hit with really good contact. It would have been away to the boundary if it had eluded her diving right arm. So that's exactly what you want from your team. When you do offer up a loose delivery and you've got the pressure on the opposition, to be able to cut it off like that is brilliant.
Yeah, that's brilliant by Wolfhard. And what it also do, it just gives the bowler that much more confidence.
fielding by the South Africans, not allowing the pressure to be released. End of the 14th, 43 for 3. It's time for a change-up voice here as well. We're going to have Brett Proctor, Angelique, and Karen. Thanks, Polly. Mlaba, an impressive start to her career. Into her third over and a wicket already to her name, and what a wicket. Jabiria Khan, the captain of Pakistan. She's gone for just 2. It's got lovely flight and control.
Yeah, a really impressive start. She'll be thinking, well, what's wrong with this international game? It's easy game. But I suppose if you're going to make your debut, it's a good wicket to make it on.
Exactly what I was thinking. If you're going to bowl on any surface, pick this one right now. Oh, and then you do that. Oh, she's grumpy with herself. But yeah, you're quite right, Karen. It's a slow wicket. It's got turn. It's dry. Give it a bit of a rip, and you're going to get something out of it. Effectively swept out into the deep for 1.
Well, Lamba is from here, so she's done her homework probably on the pitch, and yeah, you can see the performance that she's actually displaying at the moment.
Yep, those are local conditions well.
Short cut, not through. I'm just wondering how much the KZN ladies side would play at Kingsmead. They only used to get the odd fix, so they tend to play more of their games out at Chatsworth. Nice ground out there, but she would have had a bit of experience, know the wind directions and how to use the flight. I like the way she comes nicely over the top, and sometimes she gets a bit of overspin and can get a bit of bounce.
Yeah, she seems to get a lot of purchase through the ball as well, and able to grip off the wicket.
She gets herself in a good position, nice energy in the delivery stride, gets through the crease well. Another good over, just the 2 from it. 15 done, it's 45 for 3. The original rate was a shade over 4. It's pushed to 4.5. And the spinners come on and done a good job. Nadine de Klerk, the medium pacers, has stuck to her task nicely, and there's certainly a squeeze on. Three gone. Ishmael struck early. Malaba picked up her first international wicket. The steady Nadine de Klerk continues from the Old Fort End. Yawning gap behind square. There's a long chase. Nobody seems to be sure who's after it. They'll probably get back for a third.
Yeah, as a release of the pressure there, a 3 needed. But credit to South Africa. The fielding is also backed up their tight bowling, which the two together really has put pressure on the Pakistan batsmen.
Curious to know how long Nadine de Klerk will continue with this spell. She's in her 5th. She's been pretty good. She's going for just over 2.5 and over. Been very steady. Good take. Nice hands, Trisha Chetty. Lovely, soft, giving hands. 2 good catches, 1 regulation. She was involved in the run-out, so she's been involved in all 3 dismissals. This is not easy to take on the half volley. Good hands, good keeping.
It's just nice to see Trisha standing up, and it just putting more pressure on the batter, actually, on the batters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, keeping the batsman in the crease.
We saw a period in the South African innings where there was 24 overs between a boundary in the 10th and then a boundary in the 34th. Pakistan are heading in that direction now. What are we, 7 overs since their last boundary? Floated up outside the off stump. South Africa at the same stage was 70 for 2. Pakistan 48 for 3 are falling behind the rate already. But when you've lost 3 pretty cheap wickets, you can't take undue risk. Shot, but not through.
I see Ulfa is busy there in the cover region. There's a tight ring there. Again, no really attacking positions for the catch, but they are keeping it tight in that inner ring.
Just helped on its way for a single. So 16 overs done. It's 49 for 3 in pursuit of 201, and the players are going to enjoy an afternoon drink.
Bring on the summer sun. Bring on Quinny, KG, Russie and Fuff. Bring the flying middle stump, the one-handed catches. Bring on the heat. Bring home the Proteas this summer. Catch the Proteas on the pitch when they take on Pakistan on the Supersport Cricket Channel only on DSTV. Broadcast proudly brought to you by Ram Hand-to-Hand Couriers, delivering for the nation.
You grew up watching the game. You've probably played it. Now get closer to it than ever before. The Bet King Ethiopian Premier League is now on Supersport on DSTV. You'll be able to enjoy 2 live games a week on DSTV Gojo for 220 birr per month. Need more? Up your game by upgrading to DSTV Betaseb for 380 birr to get every game live. Go to your nearest DSTV service center or call our call center to get connected today. The Bet King Ethiopian Premier League on Supersport on DSTV.
This weekend on Supersport. On Saturday, the Momentum Proteas face Pakistan in the second of 3 ODIs in Durban. A captivating Transyetske derby sets the tone for Currie Cup semi-final Saturday. And the Brazilians aim to bring the high-flying birds down to earth. Then on Sunday, the Notorious marks his octagon return with a hotly anticipated rematch against Dustin Poirier. A star-studded field lineup in Abu Dhabi for the start of the new European Tour season. And can Atletico maintain their title-challenging momentum when they host Lost Chair? Up your game this weekend on Supersport. Get all the sporting action. Upgrade to DSTV Premium.
ESPN, serving sports fans. Anytime, anywhere. Now available on DSTV.
Let me introduce you to the king.
In pursuit of 201 to open their campaign in South Africa with a one-day international victory. Pakistan are wobbling a little at 49 for 3. They lost Munir Ali early when Ismail went round the wicket. Javiria Khan has been the key wicket. The skipper edged the left-arm spinner through to the keeper. So Amama Sahel and Nida Dar have a massive role to play. Here are the wickets that fell. Just switched around the wicket. Beat her with the first ball. Found the edge off the second. And this one bears some sort of inspection. It was a very quick decision to give the run out. It's an excellent throw from Shabnam Ismail. Good gather, but she lost it as she broke the stumps. The third umpire's adjudged that it's gone into the stumps. Faintest of touches, merest of touches, and a debut wicket for Nkululeko Mlaba. It's been good from South Africa. Well, I say that. The premier bowlers, Cap and Ismail, probably a little bit below their standards, but the backup has been exemplary. But nonetheless, Ismail struck early, and I'm sure Cap won't be off her game for too long. She did it with the bat, and she'll come back with a later spell and remedy things. So into the 17th over, 4.5 and over wanted, still well within the compass of Pakistan, but they're not the best of chasers. History will tell you. And here's Mlaba going to Nidadar. What do you suppose, ladies, the big discussion point at the drinks break was for South Africa? More of the same?
I think so. I've just heard Trish Chetty, though, behind the stump say, come on, 2 more wickets, so...
Let's not be greedy. Scampered single! The shy! Oh, he didn't have to get in the way! What was Mlaba doing? And she knows it. Tumi Sekakuni with a shy. The apology there from Mlaba. She's got herself the wrong side of the stumps to a shy that looked as if it was going to be pretty close to hitting.
Tommy is actually known for run-outs like those direct hits. That would have been very close.
Silly point comes in. That's attacking. Won't be there long if she bowls too short. But yeah, as a bowler, you've got to know, one, you're getting back to the stumps, first reaction, but you've got to get in the right side of the stumps, because if it's going to hit direct, you just let it cannon in. And unfortunately, Mlaba had gotten the wrong side of the stumps.
Yeah, and I think is it Lizelle Lee there under the helmet?
The first 2 balls she's been in there have been half trackers, and they've whistled past her. Now she's gone back a full pitch width away from the bat.
But tell me, how can it be a senior player under there?
I don't want to have to run around in the inner ring. I'll settle myself where I can be close catching. It's all about choice. This one is going to be a single. Two from the over, 51 for 3. It's funny when a bowler who probably doesn't often bowl with a fielder in its silly point, because the ladies play essentially white ball, limited over cricket, so she won't have had someone in there. She lost her length completely for the 4 balls she bowled with the short catcher. There's the comparisons, and Pakistan, the worm of Pakistan, needs a little bit of acceleration to come close to that of South Africa. 4.6 to the over is what's wanted at the moment. Aha, Murray's on cap returns. I quite like this from Sine Loose, bringing her premier bowler, who bowled an indifferent opening spell. I'm sure she'd be the first to admit that. And have the confidence there to say, look, I can back you to bowl a 3 over second spell here and give me something and maybe knock 1 or 2 over.
Yeah, I think it was important for Cap to come back sooner rather than later, just to find that rhythm.
Wide down the leg side again.
I'm sure this is not a South Africa won't be happy with the extras that's being bowled at the moment.
We're in the 18th over and already we've had 8 wides. That's way too many. Short cut, and this will probably be 4. It's a replica of her opening spell where she was either 2 leg side or 2 short. A boundary to Amama Sahel. She's played well. She's 26 now and growing in confidence.
Yeah, short and wide delivery and really deserved everything it got. Not a lot of foot movement there actually, just reached to the ball, but we got enough contact for the ball to go to the boundary.
Wants 1, it isn't there. Oh, I'm glad she got sent back.
I think Dawes playing a similar role here as Cap did in the South African innings. You know, she's struggling. She's 2 runs off 21 balls. Again, just really trying to find some momentum and getting herself in. Still in the 18th over, so there's still plenty of time for her to build an innings at the latter end.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose if they just bat together for a while, much the same as Mignon du Preez and Murray's on cap, they went through a period of almost runlessness. and you just get a little bit of looseness in the bone, the pressure switches, and the momentum came back into the South African innings. Thick edge down towards third man. They won't take the arm on. They've learnt to their cost. Shabnam Ismail has an excellent throw. Six from the over, 57 for 3. Four bowlers used. Fifth and sixth are obviously spinning options in Sekhukhune and Loose. But the return of Cap, perhaps to just say from the captain, I've got confidence in you, I want a better second spell. Well, there hasn't been a lot of encouragement in that over. She's been expensive. The revelation has been the debutant, Khuleleko Mlaba, who moves into her fifth over. She's gone for just 6. She goes to Sahel. Oh, and she's got flight, and she's got turn, and she's getting confidence.
And she's got a slip.
I prefer that to the silly point, actually, because it is getting off straight.
Yeah, absolutely. And it, as you said earlier, it really put her off a line and length, so it's a good option.
Beats the backward point. This will speed away for 4. She's just started to get a little bit too short in her last 2 overs. And she pays the price. That's a good stroke from Sahel again. She moves to her highest score in one-day international cricket now with a 31 not out and 61 for 3. Pakistan are gaining a bit of momentum. Single is good running, starting to get a bit of a change in complexion here in this match now in the last couple of overs as Pakistan remain positive.
Yeah, and again another change in the field. The slip comes out to bolster that offside ring area.
From the over, 62 for 3. Comparison will still show you that South Africa are ahead of the game, but at this stage in the South African innings, the runs were drying up completely. By contrast, the Pakistani innings are starting to gain a bit of momentum, so there's a lot more parity in this fixture than would seem apparent. 62 for 3 needs 4.5 and over. This could be a decent run chase. South Africa favourites, but who knows what we may witness over the next course of 2 hours.
Yeah, and again, it's important this partnership goes deep. Maintaining momentum, scoring 3 or 4 and over, we're going deep.
Played so late down to third man, almost off the off stump as Cup toils away from that old foot end with lack of rhythm, lack of confidence and lack of success. She just doesn't seem to be herself today. Trying to watch that seam position that goes down. Look at that wobble. Neatly played. Sahel's been very good. Scampered single. Oh, I'll tell you what, she was a bit laboured in getting her bat out and sliding in down at the non-striker's end.
Yeah, but the good thing is she hit the ball and said yes quickly, which was backed up by a partner.
Yeah, no, communication is key to running between the wickets.
South Africa's gone a little bit more defensive in the field placing, as you'd expect. Sweeper now out on the point boundary. Still just got the 3 out. Long leg third man and the sweeper. Certainly backing themselves to bowl an off-stump line because they've got a 6-3 field split, offside heavy. I'd like to see, perhaps it's a bit of a vain thought, but Marizanne Kapp looks well below pace, well below his full pace. She's always got a short approach, but she's very strong in the gather and the delivery stride. And she almost looks medium pace at the moment. And maybe she's certainly not feeling her best.
Yeah, she seems to be bowling within herself, very much so. And you know, maybe again, in fact, she's been out of action probably longer than the rest of them throughout. So. Just an opportunity to have a run out and again find a usual rhyme and rhythm.
It will be just nice to see the next game how the bowling goes.
Well, she'll certainly be hoping for improvement. That was a better over, just 2 from it. 64 for 3 after 20. South Africa never really took charge and getting towards 200 for 9. At one stage, 84 for 2 looked like 250 was on. That fell away thanks to the spin in the middle overs. Sandhu and Dar were outstanding, well supported by Iqbal after Baig had struck early ball. Kapp and du Preez restored things to some degree, getting South Africa at one stage 171 for 5. And if it hadn't been for Shabnam Ismail's bright and breezy 20 at the death, they wouldn't have got to that 200 for 9. Pakistan in early trouble at 42 for 3. Going nicely now. Partnership of 22. It's taken a while, but it's starting to gain momentum. And Malaba continues, looking for a fuller length now than she's been in the last 2 overs. Drop and run. Oh, that's good batting. It shouldn't be as easy a single as that, the South African captain will say to her fielders.
Oh, absolutely, the ring is tight there, but just dropped and really ran, and an easy signal in the end.
That's a good approach to the game, just knock it in the gap. It's good delivery and the bowler will be miffed that they get a single off it. But in vain. Lots of daylight. Oh, it's an afterthought. It's an afterthought from the bowler. The keeper was confident, but I think it was all trying to test the umpire. Got back on track now, a little bit more flight and getting it fuller. She needs to push through to the end of the over though. Only a single off this one. Pressure starting to return to the Pakistani batsman. Nicely flighted, nice line as well.
It's a really top spell from the debutant. Almost 6 overs, 2 runs and over economy wise. Very pleased with this first match.
Good hand from Lizelle Lee at the short cover position. Just 1 from the over, 21 gone. It's 65 for 3. Just the 4 bowlers used for South Africa, and Malaba, the debutant, the pick of the bowlers, going for just 2 and over, and the big wicket of the skipper, Javeria Khan. De Klerk was very steady as a change bowler. The new ball in the vaunted hands of Ishmael and Cap, numbers 4 and 2 in the world rankings. Well, they've been decent, but not on the top of their game. Murray's on Cap is certainly looking for some rhythm. It's time for a change up here. Sean Pollock, Vernon Philander, and Claire de Blanche. Tumi Skukwene into the attack. She's played 13 matches for the Proteas, 11 wickets at an average of just over 34. She starts well. It's so important, no matter when you come on to bowl for your team and in the match, that you settle as quickly as possible. Bowlers who've been doing the job before been doing a brilliant job, so it needs to be backed up by your 5th and 6th bowlers in the match. That's a good start from Sekhukhune. To be much of an adjustment to the field of these last 10 overs. South Africa have been in charge and just an odd boundary sweeper. Sekhukhune a little bit of protection as she finds a way into her spell.
Yeah, there isn't really much space in the surface, so if it is going to go, it'll probably go to the square boundaries. So you can afford to have your middle finger mid and up to protect those singles.
Stay on the white one, Taylor. Stay on the white. Yeah. Yes! Bowler!
Polly, you reckon we're going to see the introduction of double spin at some stage?
Well, if you're the captain and you don't get yourself into the attack, there's no one else you can blame, is there? Someone Luces
Oh, yeah.
started off her career as an out-and-out leg spinner, has developed her batting game more than probably the bowling. 22 done, 67 for 3. Bowling options so far for South Africa. Lover's been impressive on her debut. We talked about how well she did in the T20 World Cup. She's brought that form. Also really good at fielding off her own bowling.
Yeah, even in the most recent Women's Super League, she also put in a great show there for everybody that was at the stadium.
Guilty of every once in a while just dropping the ball too short outside the off stump, which has opened up the offside field, but she hasn't been punished in that area. That was the first time we've seen a real drag down that the batters can pull across to the leg side. But she's showing good control and also not scared at all to give it some air.
Oh, yeah.
You can see why. She really gave the ball to turn. If you have a close-up of her seam position, it's not as an orthodox seam position. It's pretty scrambled as it comes down, but still getting the ball to purchase. See, she grips it in a bit of an unorthodox fashion. Her grip is almost more similar to what we used to see from Paul Adams than from, say, Nicky Boyer or Paul Harris. But it's effective for her. And it obviously feels comfortable in her hand, and I think that's always the challenge for the coaches. You sort of want to maybe tinker and say, we want it to try and come down in this ideal seam position, but if it doesn't feel comfortable in the hands on the release, it'll end up causing more issues than good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is working for her. It's probably more preference of comfortability in the hand more than anything else. But it's working for her. She's got some good control.
The end of another good over, just the 3 singles from it, 70 for 3. Period from overs 15 through to 35 that South Africa really struggled, and then this third power play was where Horizon Cup cut loose, but Pakistan will be trying to target the score of just over 100 after 35 overs and seeing whether they can get themselves back into the match. They've lost the 3 wickets. Sohail's got her highest one-day international score, so she definitely needs to be the backbone of this chase. That's nicely played.
Bola, bola.
Yeah, Shauna, definitely. Sohail quite silently moving on to 37 runs in this innings, and I feel that this partnership, like I said earlier on, is an important one, and for Sohail to really take control and take leadership of this partnership.
For sure, Dawes, just the 6 of the 32 deliveries. She's taken her time getting going, but it hasn't been a problem. In the context of the match, having lost those 3 quick wickets, they were 42 for 3. Her role just to be there, stay there for a period of time was okay. The asking rate has now snuck up to just under 5. The original rate was just over 4. I'm sure as she stays there a little bit longer, she'll come into her own a little bit more.
Point would probably be, what are you comfortable chasing in those last few overs? As much as you want to get yourself in and get yourself set, you also don't want to let that run rate required slip away from you.
Sukukone's seam position very good, getting the ball to angle back at the rightness, tucking them up, not offering them too much width. Oh, this could be a mistake. If they gather it clearly, as she has, Sukukone has done brilliantly. Absolutely brilliant. They always say, be careful about running on a misfield, and it worked out a trick for South Africa. It was the knock-on, it was a quick recovery from Mignon du Preez, and she threw it to Sukukone at the bowler's end. And the problem was that it got a little bit full. It was all going to be whether she was able to gather it. She was. She gathered it comfortably and got the ball onto the stumps. So the second run out for Pakistan, not ideal. There's the knock-on, it just spins a little bit. Du Preez gathers it quickly, throws it, and it skids off the surface. But Sukukone holds her nerve, gathers it nicely, and onto the stumps. And that's a major blow, because that's Amina Sohail, who was on 37, the backbone of the innings. She's gone. 4 down, 71 on the score.
Saying, Polly, never run on misfield. Gather and a good pickup from the bowler on that occasion. It's a great pickup and great awareness from where the stumps is. Smiles all around.
Yeah, it is smiles, but having been in those situations, you know the nerves she had in her body as that ball was being thrown to her, and it skidded